This is question number 9. It says, determine the exact value of the other two primary trig ratios given each of the following. So for A, we are given that sine of theta is negative 3 over 5. So first thing that we want to do is remember that SOHCAHTOA, right, or Syr-Coxeter-Tix, right, S-Y-R. So this is Y and this is R. Sine is negative. So where would sine be negative? Let's see. Cast rule says this. So it's sine is positive here, it's positive here, so it could be negative here or here. Does that sound right? Because cosine's positive here, tan's positive here. So it could be in one of these two quadrants. Okay? So if we did, okay, so watch this, guys. Sine theta, if it was negative 3 over 5, that means that we would have y would be negative 3 and r would be 5. So that one puts us negative 3 and 5. It puts us in this quadrant. Okay? So that's good. What about if we had the negative somewhere else? What would that mean? Would that mean anything else? Well, r can't be negative, right? R is always positive. So that one doesn't make sense with r being negative. So the reason why I say this, because watch this, is that this is the y value, right? And so y is either up or down. So that means that if we have negative 3 over here, then it's in this quadrant, the fourth quadrant. And it also says that cosine is less than 0, okay? So now we have a bit of an issue because cosine here is positive. So it looks like we're talking about this quadrant over here. You see that? Because if you put this together now, here's the negative 3. So it's a third quadrant angle. Okay, exact value. Okay, we're not actually asked for the angle in this question, but that's an important thing to notice, that when you put all this information together, y is negative and cos is negative, this is going to be an angle in quadrant 3. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw the triangle that would be formed by the reference angle here. So we're going to have, this is negative 3, and we're going to have this r value is 5, the y value is negative 3. Okay? And this is going to be our larger angle. This is the angle that we're talking about. But the reference angle right here, the little reference angle, is going to have negative 3 for a y value and positive 5 for an r value. Because remember, sine, opposite over hypotenuse, negative 3 over 5. So this is the triangle that we're dealing with. So we need to find out what the x is, right? What's the x? Well, we need to find that out. And given this information, we can find that out. So it would be negative 3 all squared plus x squared equals 5 squared. So that's going to be 9 plus x squared equals 25. X squared equals 16. X equals 4. Okay? Now, is it going to be positive or negative? Well, this point over here is going to have a negative x value and a negative y value. So it's going to be negative 4 actually, and that will help us out. Even though we know the cast rule, that will help us out if we remember x is negative. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this. And the question actually says, what are the other two primary trig ratios? So we've got sine. What about cosine now? Well, cosine of theta is it's x over y over r, Coxeter, right? So that's going to be x is negative 4 over r is 5. So there should be the cos. And then the tan is what? Y over x. So that's going to be equal to, okay, watch this. Yeah, it's going to be equal to negative 3 over negative 4, or 3/4. So tan is positive in this quadrant, and we know that. C-A-S-T. So draw the angle, if you can, or at least draw the triangle with the appropriate sides, right? Opposite and hypotenuse. Find the third side, and then use those three values along with the cast rule to figure out if they're positive or negative, and then you can find the trig functions that you're looking for. Okay? So that's a good question to know for sure. That's a big thing what we did. So anybody have any problems with this right here? Any follow-up questions to what I just did here? Someone can confirm if that's correct. It should be right. Those answers correct. Okay. Okay. No other questions?